Basic Skill Bootcamp, Long Division. In today's lesson, students will learn how to solve two-digit division problems using touch math. Using what? Very good. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to solve two-digit long division problems. Look at the number that's in the dividend. How many digits is this? It's 2, right? This says 76. So we're working with bigger numbers. And would it be difficult to skip count by 3 all the way to 76? It would take time, right? It would take some time. So what we do is we work with one number at a time, and that is why there is a dotted line that goes down, because we're working with one number at a time to divide. When you're performing long division, though, there are 4 steps. There are 4 steps. So the first step is D, which is to divide. Okay. And then the second step, what is the opposite of division? Multiplication. So the second step is multiplication. What's the third step, do you think? Remember, what is the third step? What does the S stand for? Subtract. That's why you see a subtraction sign. And you're actually, in these problems, since there's 2 digits, 76, you're going to subtract 2 times. How many times will you subtract in these? 2 times. Now, the last step is B. And remember what B is? It's like this. Bring down. And you're going to have to bring down the second number in the dividend. Okay? So I'm going to have to show you how to do this. One last thing that you want to notice. Look at the boxes for tallies. Is there one box or 2 boxes? There are 2 boxes. The first box is when you work with the first digit, 7 divided by 3. Okay, you make tallies. The second box is when you work with the second digit. Okay, it's not going to be 6 because we're going to have to bring a number down. So let's try this. Let's work with one number at a time. We have 76 divided by 3. Again, we're going to skip count by 3, but first we're just going to look at 7. First, look at 7. How many times do you skip count by 3 to get to 7? Okay? All right. Now, there are going to be remainders. So you're not going to actually be able to skip count to 7. Skip count to a number that is closest to 7. So we're going to say 3, 6. What would come next? 9. But 9 is too big. So we're going to stop at 2. Okay? How many tallies do we have? We say 1, 2. Touch the dot. Okay? We have 2. So we're going to go ahead and put a 2 above the 7. Put a 2 above the 7. Okay, now we divide it. 7 divided by 3 is 2. Now the next step is multiply. Multiply. 2 times 3. Okay, so 2 times 3 we know is 6. And we're going to put it right here. Okay. The third step is to subtract. Now you're just really subtracting 7 minus 6. Just look at the tens place. 7 minus 6. So 7 take away 6 we know is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we get to the step that's B. The step that is B is bring down. What do you think you're going to bring down? What do you think you're going to bring down? You're going to bring down the 6, right? You do want to bring down the 6. Because you don't really just have 1 left over. When you break down the 6, and I'll make it red so you see it's one number, it really becomes 16. So now you have 16 left over, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to take this number, which is 16, and you're going to start the steps all over again. So now this is saying 16 divided by 3. Okay, 16 divided by 3. Okay, so we're going to skip count by 3 to get to 16, or a number that is closest to 16. So we're going to make tallies in the second box up here, and it's going to go like this. Let's skip count. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. What would be next? 18. But 18 is too big. So we could only skip count 5 times. How many times? 5 times. So we're going to go ahead and put that 5 right next to the 2. And we're going to multiply. 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15, right? Okay. Again, third step is to subtract. What does 16 take away 15? Or just 6 minus 5? 6 minus 5 is 1. So you have nothing left to bring down. Okay, so this is going to be your what? What is this called? It's called starts with an R, remainder. So what is the remainder? The remainder is 1. So the answer is, if you take a look, it is 25 remainder 1. So 76 divided by 3 is 25 with 1 left over. So let's take a look at problem number 2. We have 87 divided by 5. Again, it would take us a long time to skip count by 5 to get to 87. So what we do is we work with one digit at a time. The first digit we're going to work with is 8. Okay? So this is really saying 8 divided by 5. How many times do you skip count by 5 to get to 8? Well, that's kind of a silly question because when you skip count by 5, you're at 5, right? 5, 10 would be the next number. But 10 is too big. So 5 can only go into 8 one time. Okay, how many times? Once. So we're going to put a 1 right here. And then the next step would be to put a multiplication sign in that corner and say that 1 times 5 is what? 1 of 5 is 5. Very nice. All right. So now we're going to, don't look at the 7 yet. We're really just subtracting 8 take away 5. Well, 8 minus 5, or 8 take away 5 is what? 8, count back, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay, 3. So what would be the fourth step? Because 5 cannot go into 3. So what do you have to do here? You have to bring the 7 down. You have to bring it down. So I'm going to put an arrow down. You're bringing down the number in the ones place, right? So this is 37 now. 37, very good. So we have 37. Now we're going to try and divide that by 5. 37 divided by 5. Okay, so you're going to, in this second box up here, my friends, look, this second box. You're going to take 37, you're trying and skip count by 5 to get to a number that comes before 37. So we're going to skip count by 5 to get to a number that comes before 37. So let's go ahead and do that. And it goes like this. 5, 10, 15, 20, slash 25, 30, 35. What would come next? 40. But 40 is too big. So let's count these tallies. This is 5 plus 2. What's 5 plus 2? 5 plus 2 is 7. So we're going to put 7 right here. Yes? Then we're going to multiply. Just 7 times 5. 7 times 5 is what? It is 35. And 35 is less than 37, so that's good. The last step, well, not the last step, but the third step here is 37 divided by 35. Just look at 7 minus 5, which is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, and is there anything left to bring down? Is there anything left over here? No. So we're going to go ahead and circle that too, because that tells us that is what's left over. We call it a remainder. So the answer is 17, remainder, what's left over? 2. 17, remainder, 2. Go ahead and write that down. Okay, let's take a look at our last example, which is 63 divided by 4. 63 divided by 4. Now, again, it would take too long to skip count by 4 in order to get to 63, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to work with one digit at a time. The first digit we're going to take a look at is in the tens place. It's 6. We're going to say, okay, how many times can we skip count by 4 to get to 6? Okay, 4 to get to 6. Well, let's skip count by 4, and we have 4. Next would be 8, right? 4, 8. But 8 is too big. So 4 only can skip count one time to get to 6. Okay, 4 goes into 6 one time. So we're going to put a 1 right here as the quotient or the answer. Okay, we just divided. The next step is, what's M? M means multiply. So what is 1 times 4? Not 1 plus 4. 1 times 4 says 1 of 4. So what's 1 times 4? It's 4. Any number times 1 is, in fact, itself, which is 4. All right. Third step, S. What are we going to do now? We're going to subtract. Just look at 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4. Let's count back. Say 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Very nice. 2. Okay. Now 4 cannot skip count to get to 2. So what do we have to do with that 3? That is the B step. Okay? What are you going to do? You're going to bring the 3 down. You're going to bring it down. So bring down the 3 in the ones place. And now this new number is 23. Okay? So we start all of the steps over again, starting with 23. Because now this is 23 divided by 4. It's as if now 23 is in a box, and we're dividing by 4. Okay. So we're going to use this box up here to mark our tallies as we skip count by 4. So let's go ahead and skip count by 4. This is to row, row, row your boat. It is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. What would come next? 24. But 24 is too big. Remember, we want to get to a number that is before 23. So that would be 20, right? How many numbers or how many tallies did I make? I made a tally of 1, 2, 3, 4 slash, which is 5. So I'm going to put this 5 up here. Okay, so now this is saying 5 times 4, which we're going to multiply. 5 times 4 we know is 20. We put that 20 right here underneath the 23. All right. The third step now is to subtract. So we have 3 take away 0. 3 take away nothing is 3. Can we bring down anything else? No. So we're going to circle that 3 because the 3 is left over. It's called starts with an R. What is it? What is this called? A remainder. Very good. So the answer is 15, remainder 3. Go ahead and get that down.